So how am I going to make it? Last time that I was employed was in 2021. I stopped working because my guys urged me to and I was fired. It was the right decision looking back. Since then I've been living on my life savings. Most of the period was my parents, but at the beginning of 2026 I moved out of state and got my own apartment, which I'm in here currently. I don't have a runway for much longer, and when I looked at my finances it scared me. Will I have to move back here with my parents, broke? I asked God if I should look for work, and He said it was not within my strength. So no work for the rest of the year, around the time that I have to find a new source of income. But God also promised me that I have a future on my own. So how will I be able to make it? I suspect at least one part is developing a super spiritual ability that I will be able to monetize. But while I see hints of it, it is uncertain when it will come, and it's going slowly. Something is going to come though. When I was moving here, I was being told repeatedly that I was going to be on CNN. Maybe I will find a way to make it into the headlines. Is it with a spiritual ability? I'm supposed to move out this year to a better place, I'm told, but how? Right now, I can't. I believe it all hinged on its spiritual ability. Let's look into it. I read about this one book. This author came across 2 or 3 women who could see a panel of TVs in front of them with their spiritual sight. These TVs showed real-time video of what was happening around them. One woman could guide the cameras around to different places, anywhere within the solar system. So imagine what you can do if you can move cameras around to a different house, to a different state, anywhere in the world, and see what was happening there. I think that's what's possible with this ability. She was blind but was able to get around with this talent. She was employed by the government to view different sites in the solar system and tell them about it. Another story is about a younger woman who stunned the author when in a group meeting she could tell exactly who touched her when she was blindfolded. The author pressed her until she told him that she was seeing TVs in front of her showing everything around her. The author's young daughter wanted to see them too. She asked, and the woman was able to guide her TVs so the daughter could see them too, temporarily. On another occasion, another woman did the same thing, except this time it was for the author. He described seeing them as the brightest thing he has ever seen. He asked the woman if he could look back, and she said sure, but it never occurred to her to look behind her. Looking back, he thinks, behind the TVs, like looking the other side, he thinks he was seeing the 4th dimension. If you want to read about his this writing, it's by Drunvalo Melchizedek, and it's titled "The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life." It's on Amazon. It's either part 1 or part 2. It's not that's the parts that I've read. I'm not sure which part I found the information. So I think I'm near that ability. Sometimes I see what appears to be a tile of icons really small that I think are TVs. It's been coming for the last decade, but recently it seems to have accelerated. I am told that you can see the past and the future with this talent. Imagine seeing the past, but without sound. I think there's no sound here. You can help solve mysteries. Would people pay for that? You should be able to see the future with them too, I'm told, and this has not been mentioned in previous descriptions of this ability. But if you're able to photographically see the future, there's a huge potential for this. This is very different from remote viewing, but there are also similarities in functionalities. Remote viewing is vague and uncertain, while this 4th dimension video is like looking at a television. So will it come in time? That is the big question and the one that I'm banking on. My days are solitary. Occasionally I go walking in the park, shopping. Voices tell me what is coming. Sometimes I tell them they're lying. Sometimes I believe they're telling the truth. This is a wait, occasionally with difficulty, for a life, a real life filled with context, money, and busyness. That is coming by next year, God tells me.